But Hashmat, please share the link with me. I have shared the link with other groups, all the groups.
Yes, please share it with all the groups.
Yeah.
Is it also on the WhatsApp group of SPND?
Yes, yes. SPND I can't share. I have to request Rekha ma'am. Let me check.
Pratiksha?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. The moment Asha ma'am joins, we can start.
Okay, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. I was a little busy. I'm sorry. Got a little late.
Good evening, ma'am.
No problem.
Yeah, good evening.
We will start since we are online, Asha.
Yeah, please. We're just on time. 4:30.
Yes. A very good evening to each one of you present here. On behalf of the Department of Human Development of Srimati P.N. Doshi Women's College, I extend a very warm welcome to the Principal, Vice Principal, the resource persons, Mrs. Rati Bosekar and Madam Ranjana Baje, the faculty members and participants from colleges all over the country to this webinar on natural learning, right to cognition, which is the fundamental right of every child. I feel very proud to announce that this webinar is going to be a student-led webinar, and I now hand over the webinar to the students of the Department of Human Development who will lead the show from now on. Over to you, Pratiksha.
A very good evening and a warm welcome to everyone. On behalf of the students of Human Development Department of on the onset, I would like to welcome respect dynamic principal Dr. Asha Menon to address the participants. She is continuously guiding and motivating us to address strive to the better and reach greater heights by examples rather than the mere advices. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us this wonderful opportunity. Over to you, Asha, ma'am.
Thank you, Pratiksha. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the student-led webinar on natural learning, right of cognition, fundamental right of every child, organized by the Department of Human Development, SPN Doshi Women's College, Ghatkopar, Mumbai. For the participants who do not know our college, I would like to introduce my college to them. Our institution is 61 years old. We have been recognized as one of the top performing institutes in the country by NAC in 2017. The vision of our institution is to educate, enlighten, and empower girls. Well qualified and dedicated teachers, excellent teaching and learning process, student support like mini lunch, clothes bank, and book bank, good governance, leadership and management, and best practices like IQAC and academic and administrative audit has helped us achieve what we have today. All these have culminated not only in getting high grades in NAC, but also in fulfilling our vision to be recognized as a center of excellence for education that empowers women, leading to self-actualization. I would like to welcome Ms. Ranjana Baji, Madam, and Ms. Rati Bhosekar, Madam, as resource persons for this webinar. I'm very happy that the students of the Department of Human Development have taken lead for this student-led webinar. I would also like to welcome all the participants who have joined us for this webinar, wishing the webinar the very best, and I congratulate Dr. Shobha Bharat and her team for helping the students organize this webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your encouraging words. Now, I would like to request my classmate, Ms. Anita Karotra, to present the concept note of today's webinar.
Thank you, Pratiksha. For children, play is learning. One of the best lessons children can be taught in their early years is to play. Children innately reap great benefit as they grow, connection and appreciation of the natural environment. In the structured, busy, and technological advanced world we live in, the role of play that we experience as children is being forgotten. Nature play significantly improves all aspects of child development, that is physical, social, emotional, cognitive. When children become more engrossed in and even addicted to their technology, they become less connected to their natural environment. Addiction to technology also leads to children becoming disconnected from each other and also to society around them. Moreover, schools are following fixed curriculum with teacher-directed activity which provide few opportunity for discovery learning. While we of course need to support the importance of technology as a part of modern day life and education, it is a vital to encourage mindful and purposeful use of that technology and along with balance with nature play every day. Natural play includes achievements, innovation, creativity, positive relationship development, skill development, and also self-awareness directly related to skills in planning, organizing, decision making, problem solving, communication, innovation, and working with others. The connection between these skills and the skills that will contribute to success later in life are clear to see. Considering the vital role of play as a natural learning process in early years, it is important to provide this opportunity to all children. So today's webinar is going to provide valuable insight into the process of natural learning and its implementation in today's classroom. Thank you. Over to you, Pratiksha.
Thank you, Anita. Let us get to know the resource persons for today's webinar. Now, I would like to request my friend Priyanka Netke to introduce our first resource person, that is Rati Bhosekar.
First resource person will be Ranjana Baji.
it's okay. They can just introduce and then
Okay.
it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Thank you, Pratiksha. It is my great pleasure to introduce our speaker, Madam Rati Bhosekar. She is a well-known name in the field of early childhood education. Rati Madam is the head of pre-primary section of a prestigious Marathi school named Saraswati Mandir Trust, which is in Thane near Mumbai. Madam is working in Essential Knowledge Foundation. Her work in the present time is focused on bringing natural learning to classroom setting. We feel proud to inform the participants that Rati Madam is a recipient of National Award by NCERT for the project on smooth transition of children from pre-primary to primary section. Ma'am, we are privileged to have you with us today. Thank you. Over to you, Pratiksha.
Thank you, Priyanka. Now I would like to request my classmate Vishaka Bharaskar to introduce our second resource person, that is Ranjana Baji. Over to you, Vishaka.
Thank you, Pratiksha. It is my proud privilege to introduce our second resource person, Ranjana Baji ma'am. She is one of the founder member of Existential Knowledge Foundation, engaged in the research on natural learning of children. She is actively involved in the foundation's program including existential research, workshops, courses, and school interventions. She also working on offering EKF wisdom in Marathi. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us wonderful opportunity to listen you and sparing valuable time with us. Thank you. Over to you, Pratiksha.
Thank you, Vishaka. Now I request the resource persons to take over the session. Over to you, ma'am.
So shall we start now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. I think there might be some small net issues where I am right now. So if there is something, please let me know. Okay. Yes, thank you. And I am Ranjana, as you introduced to Vishakha. I am Ranjana. I am based in Pune. I have been working, I don't like to say working, but I have been involved with children in various capacities since last 30 to 35 years. And I'm really privileged, if we can say, privilege is the word. I'm very much privileged to have worked with children from various areas, like different social settings, different financial economic settings. So I can say that I have observed children from many different areas, and then it is a constant observation, very deep observation, and then many things came out of those observations. We have documented whatever we have observed, and we have watched all those documentation again and again, and we saw a certain pattern emerging out of all those documentations. We have formed one organization. It is called Existential Knowledge Foundation, and there we do a lot of research on how children learn, what is natural learning, how, what, and why children learn. All these areas we are constantly researching, and at the same time we are giving consultations to schools. We are doing workshops for parents, teachers, or whoever is interested in children and learning and all those issues. So thank you very much for inviting us here. So I will start my presentation. Is the share option available?
Yeah. We are co-hosts.
Yes, ma'am. Share option is available. Down.
Okay. So this is the poster. So I just thought I can share it. So these are the areas we are talking about today. Actually, every topic we take workshops. Every topic needs at least 3 to 4 sessions. So today we are just giving some small. We are giving just a small peep into the windows of all these areas. So I hope it works. So what is natural learning? I won't read all these things. Please read yourselves because we will need time for the further presentation. Natural learning is something not very different. What we do every day, it is how we make sense of the world around. And this fundamental right of children was lost since the rigorous schooling system came in. So you can see what are the causes. Too much parenting is one of the causes. Giving instructions, conditioning children, helping them. Helping them is equally bad. We grown-ups really like to help children, but sometimes it's very damaging for them. Making them dependent, appreciating, criticizing, judging, punishing, rewarding. All of them. Children don't need anything out of it. Any of these things. Children just want to be left on their own. They don't need our appreciation. They don't need our criticization because we cannot judge children and we are not in the same place that children are. So our judging is quite different than what really children are. So can we do this damage? Can we undo this damage? So definitely we can undo it. So how we can undo it? I have written it. Understanding the process. So far we have been understanding children by reading books, by reading philosophies, by even searching on net what is a child. But have we ever observed children without any biases, without any prejudices? So that is the first thing to understand children, observation of children. And next thing is creating conducive learning environment for children. And we will talk about this conducive learning environment and making shift in ourselves. We always want children to change. We always want to work on children. But the main thing is we have to work on ourselves because children are in their pure natural form. We are conditioned now. Grown-ups are conditioned. We have come a long way from the nature. So we need to work on ourselves and we don't need to work on children. Again, the situation we are in right now, we can't change the society. It is very difficult. We always claim that it may need 500 or 1000 years to change whatever is happening around, but at least we can change ourselves and we can work ourselves and we can make a change as individuals if we write from this moment. So whatever a child does is understanding the world. Every activity a child does is to understanding the world. So what is a natural learning? We have seen this is the natural learning, understanding the world around. So how and why children learn? There are three components. What is the content? And how is the process? And why is the purpose of natural learning? So what children learn? The world around is the content. There are no curriculums. There are no books. Nothing. The real world. That is the content of learning for children, and we start with books. You know, children want to be associated with the real world, and we start associating them with words. Words without experience have no meaning. Experience come first, and then come the word. We do exactly opposite. We make them sit in a classroom for hours and just throw words after words towards them. Children can't make anything out of it because
Ranjana ma'am, we can't quite hear you clearly, ma'am.
So the real world they want to explore. So what
I think Ranjana ma'am is having network issues.
No,
can you
she's
sing
there.
now?
Yes,
Can you
yes.
hear me?
There she is. Okay.
Sorry, I don't know why this is happening. Otherwise, normally it is good, but it had chosen today, I think.
Ma'am, it's the weather.
Yeah, true. But I'm really happy that at last the rains are there. Anyway, so how children learn? The tools of learning are observation, experience, and imitation. And all these tools work through senses. So senses are the main tools that are involved when children are learning or making sense of the world around. So it is very interesting. Whatever children observe, whatever children experience, they relive the experience. And that reliving, we call it as play. So play is not something that is done afterwards, or it is not that play is happening and learning happening afterwards. Playing is learning provided it is reliving of experiences. We don't here we are not considering the playing organized by grown-ups. It is whatever children choose to do, we call it as playing. So why children learn naturally is it is nature's law. It is for sustaining life, it is to live in harmony, and it is like to take that species forward. We are nature, so we are also doing all these things. So again, how we understand children from natural learning point of view. Okay, so this is what we have observed. It is not that we have read some theory or philosophy and then we are presenting it. It is what we have observed. So it is every child is born with innate values for surviving. It is born with qualities like creativity, innovation, imagination, daring, curiosity. Children want to explore the real world. Child repeats things till she gets desired perfect action. So I have mentioned it particularly because again, here I want to point out that children don't compete with others. Children compete with themselves. If a child is jumping, for example, if a child is jumping from the step 1, the child will do that repeatedly until she is happy that okay, now I have done it, and then she will go to the step 2. Nobody will tell her. She will do it automatically because she wants to gain perfection and she wants to reach the topmost capacity. So she will go on second step. So we don't have to do any competition. So competition is not relevant because not two children are equal. Every child is unique. So we cannot compare two children. Children are interested in process. That is the main thing. We always connect children to products like toys and all those things. But children are interested in processes. Children are complete at every stage. Children live holistically. children experience things holistically, and then there is no division like play, work, and learn. These are categories we grown-ups have made. This is play time, we tell children, this is work time, and this is learning time. Children don't have these categories. Children are doing all the things together. If you observe children, you will see that even if a child is eating something, it will find shapes in him. If a child is playing something, it is learning. So it doesn't have these categories, that is holistic being. But instead, when we tell them, when we categorize or fragment their living, for example, we have already fragmented their learning. We say, okay, this is mathematics, this is language, this is Marathi, this is English. So child is confused because it is not living the life like that. So now we will see deeply what children learn. A child is born with many possibilities and potentials. She gets formed according to the external conditions, the world around. So if you see, if you have been to any artisan communities, you will see that potters' children learn pottery on their own. Nobody is teaching them pottery, but the environment is such that everywhere something is happening. Children get involved, they get the clay, and then they start doing something, and they learn it. Even there are many other artists like singers. Their children also automatically pick whatever is happening around, and they learn. So whatever is in the external world, they just pick up it. Another thing is there is no choice. Natural learning is it happens automatically. So children, if there is good language around, children pick up that language. If somebody is all the time using abusive word, children will pick up that. So they don't have any choice, because it is just they experience it, and whatever they're experiencing, they absorb it and they imbibe it. They don't know if it is good or if it is bad. It is like digestion, we eat and then we don't have control over how we digest it. It is in the same way, whatever we experience, we imbibe it. We don't have any choice. So I will just show you some pictures of feral children. I don't know, you might be knowing. Feral children are children brought up by animals because of some problems in their families. There are examples. If you search on net, you will find the feral children stories. So few of them were brought up by dogs. So those children were imitating that. They were behaving as if they are dogs. You must have read the story of Mowgli, and it happened in India long back, I think in 1920s or something. And Mowgli was brought up by wolves, and then he was behaving just like wolves. You can see all these stories on net. I have been working. I have worked for 20 years with disabled children. Mentally disabled adults I have worked, and it was a community where houses were made for these disabled children, disabled adults, and there was a house mother who has 1-year-old child. His name was Nina. Then this was she was having some issues at home, so she left home and she came to our organization, and she was a house mother. When the child was 1 year old, initially he used to follow all the mentally challenged adults, and then he saw how the mother was behaving with them. The mother was very loving, very caring to the mentally challenged adults, and he started caring the same way when he was 3 and 4 years. He used to take care of all those mentally adult children, adults. So many times people would ask her, the mother, are you not afraid that your child will become like those mentally adult people? She said, no, because my child has become very caring towards them. So he was following his mother, and he never he just was brought up like that. But another story is of a child of disabled parents. So those parents were mentally challenged, and they were in one ashram, and then the child started behaving like those parents. And afterwards, some caregivers noticed that, and then they removed the child from that ashram, and then they kept him to normal children, and the child started behaving normal. Because his experience was disabled parents, so he was behaving like disabled people. But when he came to some anath ashram, there were normal people, and then he just took up to normalcy. So these are the cases where they are formed. So this girl on the left corner, she was brought up by dogs. This was brought up by monkeys, and and they started behaving like that. Qualities children are born with are curiosity, playfulness, and exploration. So somebody was in introduction, somebody was talking about play. So what is play? Play is not what we think as play is. Play is the playful exploration of things by children. Curiosity, playfulness, and exploration are the three qualities that make children play. Okay. So then again, cognition is not a purpose. I will show you one. So you will see this cat. Okay. Can you see the cat?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
So this cat was this cat was very curious about what is that leaf, and then you can see how she's playing with that kitten. So this is just curiosity and playfulness. But this method she will follow when when she will be catching a mouse or something. Same method. But here she is not learning catching a mouse. She's just being playful, and she is curious about that leaf, and she's just touching it and exploring it. And this is the same cat, exploring some threads or some packing material. So she is not learning how to escape. Playful exploration, curiosity, playful exploration. So again, we go back to this. Cognition is not a purposeful act. That's why I showed that film to you. It happens during the playful exploration. And language has no role in this. Because this is experiencing. I just showed you cat, but we have thousands of videos where children are doing many things without using language. Even groups of children doing things without using any language, because language comes after experience. I just told you about that. Okay. So what children learn? So first thing a child learns is being mother, because experiencing starts with motherhood when the mother is there. So what child experiences, it relive it and it plays. I will show you this. So many things we have observed in this short film is children are always working together, and it is always multi-age group. Again, in schools there are children from the same age group, that is also problematic. There should be always multi-age groups. And another thing is, this was a school where we did an experiment for almost 3 years. So what we invited siblings to the school, very small siblings, and also we encouraged the teachers to bring their children to school. So this child was this is the mother of their child, you can see at the back, and she used to bring the child to school. And then this is the experience. See? As I told you, I have worked in many different social environments. So that was from village. The previous was on village, and this is from city. Same pattern. She must have observed a child giving birth. It was giving birth. Can you hear it? Sorry. आवाज येतोय का रती?
नाही येते आवाज ऍक्च्युली व्हिडिओचा.
तेच तर म्हणून मी परत केलं ते बाहेर.
आता आला.
So see the detailing which she has observed. And this is play we are talking about. And what children learn is form, structure, and process. We are just taking example of house. So this is the form. A child, when a child takes experience holistically, and then it just play about it in parts. So this is playing about form, how it looks, and this is structure, how it is built. They want to learn structure. They do like this. And this is process. This is what they want to do inside. So here the structure is not important. Just sitting in the house is important for them. The same that was from village, and again this is from a city. This child, the washing machine was brought in to their house, and then this child was fascinated. The mother told us the child was fascinated, and it observed the washing machine for many days. And then it's one day the mother saw this in the bathroom. Oh. So the child was fascinated by how the clothes are moving. And here another experience. Here he was fascinated by the putting it on and off. See? afterwards, the mother sent us this picture. This is how it looked. This is how the colored clothes look. This is how the black and white clothes look from above. So this is how the child was making sense of washing machine. How the clothes look, how the machine works, everything the child is observing and recreating and understanding. This is another process. There was Ganpati festival, and then after the Ganpati festival was over, one day this happened in that house. The grandmother was made Ganpati, and then the child are performing Aarti in front of her. So this is what they saw, and then they just started with that. So children don't do anything purposefully. They just, reliving their experiences. And this is, again, tools of natural learning. This is sense. One of the senses is touch. There are two processes of cloth washing. One is from village and one is from city. So I just want to share both situations here. This is how it is happening in villages. Women sit together, talk and wash clothes. So children are doing exactly the same. And this is city situation. Same thing, two contexts are there, and then two different ways of washing clothes, but children are doing the same everywhere. Children learn by imitation also. So it is the child, he is observing and not the dog. Dog is confident and dog is trying out, but the child is observing the dog and then trying to imitate the dog. Okay, so there are some qualities like we were talking about. So creativity, one quality which is always there in children, and creativity is not just drawing some funny picture or creating something out of paper. Creativity is how we respond to unknown. So I was working in a village. I stayed there for 3 years because I just wanted to see how the processes are in village are and how children are. So these children used to come to my home, and then one day they came and I didn't have so many, so there were almost 30 children and I had hardly 20 brushes. I told them I don't have brush. So nobody even asked, why didn't you bring? One of the children, he went out, he found a small stick, and then he made brush out of it. And what children learn is another is relationship. In villages, children know so many relationships. I mean, in cities, I haven't seen children knowing so many relationships. But these children know, वो मेरे दादी के बहन की somebody और मेरे चाची की बहन की लड़की, चाची के भाई की लड़की, and they, okay, he is my brother because he is my chachi's brother's son. City children may not know these many. So this girl, I saw one day, this girl was playing, and I asked her what these two dolls said, and she said, see, these two dolls she has made, and she told me they are co-sisters. I think क्या बोलते हैं उसको, देवरानी जेठानी. So far I never saw any girl playing Devrani Jethani dolls. So this was because she was experiencing all those relationships around. And this is again, children are not, there is no differentiating in children. You will see boys also wearing saris, girl is also wearing saris. So gender issues we grown-ups put in children. And this is what she has picked. This is very interesting. If you can just listen.
तर जो पप्पा आहे ना त्याला आमरस बनवायला नाही आहे, कसं बनवायचं ते सांगशील का गं?
Her elder sister used Alexa for ordering things. And this child is speaking in Marathi with English accent, and she truly believed that she is talking in English. I don't know if you can hear it properly. So it's exactly the accent she has picked up, and she thinks she is talking in English, and Alexa is understanding, and that is not even Alexa. Something she's just pretending. The mother told me that it was just some hay they were having, and she had stored it to throw it out, and the tip of that one of the straw, he thought this is water filter, and then he started playing as if it is a water filter. Again, I told you that natural learning, you don't have any choice. If there is bad thing, child will pick up bad things also. So he saw somebody tobacco. So this is how tobacco people eat, and he is just doing that action of tobacco. And this is a class. We have two groups of parents, and then we have requested them to. We conducted some workshops for parents, and then we told them how natural learning happens and how it is very important to give space to children. And now they are giving space, and then they are documenting the children, and they make sure that, of course, children are not disturbed. So one of the mothers, she sent us this video, and she told that there was wheat flour, somehow it just spilled on the ground. And initially she was unhappy because it is just spilled. Then this child came, and this child started playing in that floor. So she told us that she thought, okay, now I'm not going to use it, so let the child play. So this is the space one can give to the children, So we thought this is very important. And last year there was Corona, and you will see that this girl was missing her friends. So see the tone she is talking, as if those that chair and the stool are her friends.
हे ना तुझा फ्रेंड चिक्कू आता आपण खेळायला आलो तर खेळू ना तिघ जण 1 2 3 4 जण खेळू ना आपण तू का उदास आहेस चल ना आपण खेळूयात मावशीची पण आठवण आली असती ना तिला पुन्हा एवढी नडली असती पण आता एवढी हळू का नडते तू शांत हो बरं डोळ्यातनं पाणी नको काढूस थांब जरा थांब सांगते मी एक शब्द ऐक माझा फक्त मी सांगते मी आज तो येईल तू नडू
So whatever her mother tells her, she is just reliving that, and then she is in a way consoling herself also during all this process. And this is perfect example of natural learning. This grandfather is again member of that one of the groups, and the mother sent us this. You will see what natural learning is. Nobody is teaching, nobody is directing, but the child has picked up how to do that with cashews. You will see that grandfather not even looking at the child. He is working perfectly at ease, and she is also at ease, and there is no conversation happening, but learning is definitely happening. This is the perfect example of natural learning. Another very important statement we want to do here is about ready-made toys. So what is toy for children? Children may need some props during the process of reliving the experience. So they pick up whatever is around and they create the props. Once that reliving is over, the props go back to what they were originally. So this is very important. Children don't need ready-made toys at all. So providing ready-made toys to children is detrimental for their cognitive health. Any toy that is not made by children during their process of reliving of experience is damaging. So toy is a product. Children are always in processes. So whatever videos I showed to you, you will see that children are always in processes, doing something. So they are not into toys, never. But toy is a big, ugly market. Children are vulnerable. They become prey of this. They get caught and then they lose their natural way of cognition. So toys are very detrimental, very damaging for children. I will show you just one video. Actually, we have thousands of videos, so it's very difficult for me to choose what to show. The mother told us that the day they brought the grocery from shop, the boy just saw the soaps and then he started this. In fact, toy is a habit we grown-ups have put in the children. Children don't need it. So another concept we always come across is experiential learning. First thing is giving experience. It includes giving experience, expecting the desired output. But in natural learning, we have seen that children don't know what will be the output because the process may go anywhere. Neither the children nor the observer, nobody knows what is the output, and output is not an aim. So that is very important. Like we saw with the kittens play. So experience is the learning, and they come together. It is not that experience happens and then learning happens. They are together. So I will, and experience, we say that we give experience, but we don't know what the child has taken in. So that I know once I was sitting in a school, I was doing something, there was a maths book next to me, a child came, and there were in the first picture there were 4 balloons, and in the next picture 1 balloon was burst, and other balloons were intact. So the child asked me, what is this about? And I told him there are 4 balloons and then 1 balloon is burst, and that is the story. And he was watching that for a long time. So I was thinking in my mind, like a teacher, I was thinking, okay, now he will come to the conclusion that there were 4 balloons, 1 is no more there, 1 is burst, and then there are 3 balloons. That's what I was thinking. And after a long time, I asked him, what are you watching at? And he told me, I just watching how a burst balloon looks, you know. So he was into very different world, and I was into very different world. So I cannot dictate what a child was experiencing. So the same way drawing is there, like how the reliving children are doing in play, they do on paper. What is observed and experienced, and why children draw is to learn the world, to create knowledge, same as play. So what children need is non-interrupting space, no correction, no suggestion, not judging, total freedom. So I will show you quickly a few pictures. The children draw what they see. So in this bird, normally animals are seen from side. So normally children draw animals from as a side view. But here on the left, you will see 1 buffalo. And this is the front view of buffalo. And why it is so? So we asked that child, why you have drawn it this? So her job was feeding the buffalo every day. So she used to see buffalo from the front. You know the difference? Because every day she experienced the buffalo from the front. That's why she drew it from the front. So they draw what they see. And again, whatever they experience, like on the right, you will see the corona pictures. Everybody is wearing mask. On the left, there was a teacher in our school, and she was pregnant, and children came to know that she is pregnant. Immediately, you know, they drew a child in her womb. You can see the child here. This is experiencing a journey that child made with his parents. So if we give such a big space to children, their drawings can be very, very full of details. So many details come in. So this is the space actually we should provide for children. Events, you can see on the left, Handi. On the right, children are drawing the whole village here. So this is on these two are just extracting the gist. This is Ganesha and this is tree. Just outlines, and then we understand that, okay, this is tree and this is Ganesha. And on the right, this small girl was drawing this. This is from a tribal area school. And I asked her, and she said, this is line of ants, line of ants, she told us. How she sees it, she will draw. And for children, material and nothing matters. On the left, you will see that this child has drawn. I always prefer it to see as a drawing. It's a drawing of a house, and he is sitting in the house. So they don't have any inhibition about what material they use. Here on the right, you will see the mud is used as material to draw. Again, I'm just concluding how we lost the natural learning. total focus on words, and we saw that children are interested in world. So you can go through this quickly. So what children do, what school does, schooling system does is teaching belief and dependence. No questioning is allowed. And we all follow a system which is already existing. Experience is not given importance, senses are not given importance, but mind is given more importance. But as you all are students of early childhood, you know that senses is prime important during that period. Reading and writing are given utmost importance, which is not good, because children need to experience first and then language comes afterwards. Understanding happens in experience and not in language, but again we are using language. So how can we bring it back again? Understanding children by observing them, natural learning to be part of teachers' training, effort to connect early childhood education and natural learning, connecting parents, homes, and schools. All should be on one page. Parents, teachers, homes, schools, the entire society should be on the same page while we are dealing with children. The role of parents is creative, conducive environment of unconditional love, trust, emotional and physical safety, and total freedom. Children want only these things from grown-ups. No need to support, no interference, no guidance, nothing. Only unconditional love, trust, emotional and physical safety, and total freedom. Only 4 things. If they are an environment is created with including all these 4 elements, natural learning is going to happen and children will really going to flower. So now the next presentation Rati is going to make. This is what I just thought that we should begin. I will end with this and then Rati will start. This is not a method. Again, we are not telling about a method. This is what we have experienced. Experience can be different. So this is just created, environment created is for children, where children do things. This is just a beginning. We don't claim that we have achieved. This is just our first step, which Rati is doing in her school. And where teachers are learners. Rati?
Yes. शुरू करूं मैं? Shall I begin? Okay. Thank you. Now my job is, as we see the presentation, see what is exactly the natural learning and how child learn. Means it is naturally that child learns. It is the process. He is always in process, and all those things are how to connect that in early childhood education, or whether it is there itself, and we are not using that power of child to in early education. So this is what in my school I try to do to ECCR program and early childhood education program and natural learning. I try to connect those 2 things, and some changes, role of teachers and some lesson plan, some changes I try to make. But again, as Ranjana told, this is not methodology. I'm not saying that this is the method of natural learning that we should use. This is the environment creation attempt in school, so that the child will learn naturally. many more things than what we expect. Okay, so my presentation will be from point of view of school, how this natural learning, how I try to give scope for this natural learning in school environment. So I will start with my presentation. I will try to make it simple and fast because I know it's half an hour and I have to cover lot more things. So natural learning in early childhood education. In early childhood education, as we are all in this field, you are students, you are also entering in this field. We know that we use lots of educational material, educational games, use lots of drawings and to develop various concepts of child, and parents involved. We take parents involvement at the same time in those activities. Also, we have lots of project based learning. So our system of early childhood education is fully activity based. It is playway methodology. So this is how we try that child should get this overall development: language, socio-emotional, cognitive, fine, gross motor skills. And for all these development, we take different types of activities for children. So this is how we achieve children overall development. And for this, we take children as a facilitator, as a teacher, ELPS process, that is experience with physical objects, then spoken language that describes the experience, then we draw pictures of that experience, and symbols means we convert it into a written words and put it for the child. So this ELPS process is wholly led by teacher and we for the students. And that is what we say in early childhood education, we are doing child-centric learning process. Or in Marathi we say मूल केंद्री किंवा constructivism, that is ज्ञान रचनावादी. So this is how we look to the early childhood education. From this is what I feel, and you must be agree with this. We are taking all the child-centric activities. But when I encounter with this natural learning thought in somehow 2017, I start feeling something is different, which we are not including the power of that child in our early childhood education. What I started feeling that this whatever the activities we do in our early childhood education, they are decided by us as a facilitator. We decide which domains of the children to develop, which activities to do, how to do those activities also decided by us as a facilitator. When to do those activities is also decided by us, and where to do those activities, where in the classroom or outside or something like that. All these are controlled in our hand to give the experience to the child for their development. We presume in this process that children will be content doing this activity. They will be happy. This is the playway method. There are various games and learning tools for them. It is activity-based learning and it is an experience-based learning. So we presume all these things in our early childhood education programs, what we design for our students. We start with a hypothesis, but in process, what happens is that by teaching or giving activity will achieve the result of learning a child certain concepts. Some mathematical concepts, when we have to explain them, we do certain activity, and by that we think counting is achieved. Counting process, concept of counting is we teach or we taught it to the child. We limit ourselves to the confirmation of this hypothesis. Again, we say कि हाँ नहीं ये तो हो गया. What we thought कि counting आना चाहिए, by this process काउंटिंग का प्रोसेस हो गया. We limit the child from achieving the holistic learning experience. As we say कि child is not fragmented कि अभी language कर रहा है, अभी mathematics कर रहा है, but we fragmented कि अभी counting हो गया means maths हो गया, अभी इसका ABCD और उसका words हो गया, तो that is the language हो गया. So we limit the child from achieving the holistic learning experience in above our ECCL programs. And we do not consider कि what the child wants to experience, what child wants to know, what child wants to learn, and what child wants to do. ये जो 4 है, we do not consider in our ECCL program because it will take a lot of time if we allow the child to do his own things. So that is not allowed to him, and we give experience, we give material to them to explore, to achieve certain things. So the difference is in our activity-based learning and natural learning. Facilitator in activity-based learning, facilitator decide activities knowingly. What activities, how to do, when to do, where, which, and who. And then in that process, the facilitator thinks that learning happens. In natural learning, child herself do activities unknowingly. Why child do the activities? To know, to experience, to re-experience, feel, sense, and it is all unknowingly. And in this process, as child is always in process, as you see in lots of videos of those processes, learning takes place. Then the question is this real child-centric learning in our जो ECCL program है? Is that really child-centric learning and true constructivism? The answer is probably no from my side, and we have to reimagine all the things. We have to reimagine the play of a child, their drawing, environment especially, and then the role of a facilitator, materials that we give to the children or provide, put around them, lesson methods, our lesson methods, our field visits, end results, and learning. All these things are need to be reimagined. When I thought of all those things, I start working with Ranjana also, and we try to incorporate this natural learning in our school environment for our section. How we do it? The one we make one classroom especially assigned for natural learning. For that classroom, there is no curriculum book as such. As in natural learning, the whole world is curriculum. So there is no curriculum book, no ready-made toys, no educational toys. Lots of material which we use in our daily life, we put for the children, or we provide that room is that natural learning classroom is full of all those things. And from teaching environment, we see that it will be fully to the learning environment. Here, the role of adult as a facilitator in this classroom, what we decide is me and my work approach. No guidance, nothing from the teacher. To observe activities, the adult as a facilitator has to observe the activities of children, and without their knowledge, to understand what child are learning from those activities. No importance to us as an adult, no help approach, no interference in their quarrel, and precaution is only for their safety. So this is the policy. As a role of adult, we reimagine our role and decided to have this role. Again, when the exploration, we put different types of, we use different types of places and different types of things to explore for the exploration of children. Inside our classroom, outside our classrooms, wherever children want, whatever means there is no restrictions कि अभी आप लोग यहाँ जाओ, अभी या आप ये activity करो, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं था. We just have those things over there, and wherever child wants to go, they used to go. They do that lot more things. Then also we change our lesson plans. on the left side, you will see this is the pre-writing skill. Previously, we used to do this thing for our wrist to strengthen. स्पंज लेके उसमें पानी लेके वो हम उनको निचोड़ने के लिए बोलते थे. So that activity we converted into the daily activity as अपना लादी पोछना रहता है ना, वैसे वाला. That water was clean. Those clothes were also very good, not like dirty clothes as such. But we allowed them to do such things in our school environment. And the role of teacher also, you will see, teacher just give the water and she was away from that side. So all children are doing this activity, but they are not. This is free writing skill. This is included for our free writing skills, but we converted it into like this. Otherwise, we used to do small sponge का ये लेके हम बैठते थे और करते थे. On the left hand side or right hand side also, when we do nimbu sharbat for their test recognition, we just put the things and we don't even say कि अभी nimbu sharbat बनाना है. But the children start doing that activity and it is their test, it is their method, and they do lots of mess for there. But our lesson plan was that कि वहाँ से निकल जाने का. सिर्फ बच्चे जो भी कुछ करते हैं वो देखने का and observe that those things. So testing happens. जब वो खट्टा लग रहा था तो उन्होंने शक्कर डाला अपने आप वो मीठा बनाने के लिए. कम पड़ रहा था तो पानी डाला. So all measuring things and those things were happening and lots more observations were there out of this activity. So we totally changed our lesson plans method. Also, when we went to the field trips, previously when we took children to different places, we used to say कि देखो अभी ये क्या कर रहे, वो क्या कर रहे. By this method, there is no interference by elders, so we just वहाँ बच्चों को छोड़ दिया था. We took them to one garage. That garage वाला जो था वो भी बहुत बढ़िया था. वो भी कुछ नहीं बोल रहा था. तो बच्चे was so interactive with him after some time. Or after coming to school, we just took one teacher took one paper, and when बच्चे start interacting with each other, we came to know that they know more than 3 pages different words that are used by that garage wala. So much new words were automatically known to them, and they drew various pictures of that this thing. वो गैरेज वाला वहाँ जो भी कुछ दिखा था उसका वो उन्होंने पिक्चर्स निकाले थे. That is also optional. We don't force them. We put paper and something like that, and if they want, they draw the pictures. Likewise, we also call community में कुछ performances करते हैं, उनको बुलाते हैं, और they come in their get up and perform before children, and after that the interaction happens with that person, and the children come to know many more things about their. After this performance, ये कथक का हो गया था, भरतनाट्यम का था. After that, many mudras and all these ornaments names, so many things children came to know automatically. Before this, we contact these persons and convey them कि ऐसा करना है. We will not be there in the picture, but you just interact with the children and just answer those questions which children will ask you. Don't teach them कि ये ऐसा करना है वैसा करना है. It is only the conversation between us, and after that rest will happens automatically. Again, our reading process we also changed. From this process, that is the letter words reading process. From that we changed to the emergent reading. That is, are you listening this video? And Are you able to listen?
Yes, we can hear it very
Yes.
clearly.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
clearly.
आता तू दारात ठेवतो आणि त्या दिवशी एक म्हातारा
We means this type of emergent reading, how it will be more and more, at how it will happen more and more. We see for that instead of our regular word का reading है, उसके बाद में sentence का reading है, we skip from we transfer our reading process to the emergent reading. Again, for drawing, as Ranjana told, ki drawing is also their experience. What they experience, they try to draw on the paper or some any platform. In this also, we try to see ki drawing will be a process and not an art. कि ये ऐसा ही निकालना चाहिए, ये ऐसा होना चाहिए, no direction, nothing. Whatever the child will draw, it is okay. Again, we don't ask them to color that, and so this will happen कि वो process में रहना चाहिए. Here we always used to took them to the when this in these months itself, अक्टूबर में जब सितंबर में गणपति आते हैं तो हमारे यहाँ बहुत से stalls लगते हैं. So we just take them to those stalls and the children go just roam around those stalls. And believe me कि किसी भी गणपति को वो डैमेज नहीं करते, किसी भी गणपति को. But they observe it so carefully कि किसने क्या पहना है, किसने क्या किया है. और after that we just skip the paper and this thing. And if someone wants, take those papers, pencils and drew Ganpati. So this child, he was sitting in front of one Ganpati. We have not asked कि Ganpati draw करो करके. And he was for 20 minutes, this process was going on. Afterwards, just हमें ही निकलना पड़ रहा था, इसलिए उसको उठाना पड़ा. But just as if वो JJ School of Arts का एक बच्चा और कुछ दिख के कुछ ड्रॉ कर रहा है. In that process, he was for 20 minutes. And on that paper, nothing was there. Not a single this thing was there कि गणपति से कुछ similarities था. But that the process of drawing was very learning for us. When we see all those things or make changes of all these things, what the outcome is, what, as I said, कि after every interaction or something like that, there are many more words बच्चों को आते हैं, which we just write them out. Again, this is for to connect the children, connect the natural learning to the school. Actually, it should not happen, but to connect natural learning to the school environment, we just put all these words into our plain paper and we put it into our classrooms. So आते जाते बच्चे वो कनेक्ट हो जाते हैं कि हाँ ये हम लोगों ने शब्द बोले थे, ये ताई आई थी उस समय के है, जब गैरेज में गए थे उस समय है, जब हम गणपति देखने गए थे उस समय के है. They connect all those things automatically as a sight reading and start reading all those things, and automatically letter recognition and Barakhadi as Marathi we say, all this happens automatically. No, nothing is required कि ये ऐसा प स र ऐसे करने का जरूरत ही नहीं. Direct they start reading pisara, lipstick and all those things. So this process happens from senior this is nursery from 3 years to 6 years. After that they go to the primary section where they are able to read all the sentences and all these letter words. Also they made much more many drawings, and ये drawings भी हम लोग लगा के रखते हैं. So they connect कि क्या क्या है और उनको क्या अच्छा लगा वो भी हमें समझ में आता है कि in this picture they all are fascinated with ताई ने जो बिंदी लगाई थी उससे वो fascinated हो गए थे. तो drawing में सबके बिंदी बड़ी बिंदी लगाई थी. So all those things come to know automatically, and we keep in our classroom in front of them so that it will happen automatically. Also, we come to know, as Ranjana told, in naturally many means values which we decide कि cooperation, coordination, ये सोशो इमोशनल डेवलपमेंट की जो भी वैल्यूज हम लोग उनके लिए कुछ एक्टिविटीज रखते हैं, दैट वैल्यूज वी कम टू नो ऑटोमेटिकली इन दिस प्रोसेस. उनका डिसीजन मेकिंग चलता है, वो देखने को मिलता है. कोऑपरेशन, कोऑर्डिनेशन अमंग देमसेल्व्स, also observing others work, which is very important and which is very missing nowadays. कि दूसरों का काम इतना हम ऑब्जर्व नहीं करते हैं, लेकिन बच्चे जब ऐसे खुली एनवायरनमेंट में छोड़ते हैं तो दे ऑब्जर्व अदर्स वर्क वेरी केयरफुली. उनका खुद का भी बहुत कंसंट्रेशन मालूम पड़ता है. दे स्टार्ट प्लानिंग मेनी मोर थिंग्स. जैसे भी मटेरियल उनको, अभी देखो यहाँ भी कुछ मटेरियल है, दे प्लान मच मोर थिंग्स. जैसे मटेरियल है उनका प्लानिंग चालू होता है. इन दिस वीडियो एट द एंड दिस वायर वाज देयर, सो दे स्टार्ट प्लेइंग वायरिंग का गेम. So planning happens automatically according to their material. Also, this is Mimamaru, one word I came across 2 months back. Ki Mimamaru methodology means no interference in quarrel. That policy is applying in Japan and now in US. कि बच्चा उसे मीन्स हम उनका जज नहीं, हमें उनका जज नहीं होना चाहिए, उनको खुद को अपना प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करना है. ये मेथडोलॉजी का उन्होंने मीमामारू बोला है, और वो करने से बच्चे खुद ब खुद अपने आप बहुत सारी चीजें सीखते हैं, जैसे हमारा प्रॉब्लम कैसे हम लोग सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. सो इन नेचुरल लर्निंग इट इज ऑलरेडी देयर कि वी शुड नॉट इंटरफेयर इन द चाइल्ड वर्ल्ड कि ये ऐसे करो, ये आप उसके बाद में ये करो, टेक अ टर्न. No, they solve their problem automatically. They resolve this. This is a very nice video. These children were quarreling for one chair. थोड़ा सा आगे लेती हूँ. The child tried to, I was in front of them and they tried to कि ताई देखो देखो करके बोलने लगे. I just, it was very difficult for me to keep quiet. और the moment that chair उन्होंने जैसा ही झूला लिया, they forget their quarrel and they start playing with that chair. So they, when we say कि नहीं अभी उसको बैठने दो, फिर 5 मिनट के बाद आप बैठो, that is we thought कि उनको हम कुछ ये कर take a turn ये सिखा रहे हैं, but that is not needed. Is very much ऐसे बहुत सारे वीडियोज है quarreling के बारे में भी. So that is also very fantastically children resolve among themselves and we don't have to interfere in them. In all, I would like to say कि outcome was that कि all such development जो थे linguistic होगा, social, emotional, it is achieved holistically by children themselves. There is no need कि ये करने के लिए हमें कुछ एक्टिविटी करनी है. चिल्ड्रन का एक्टिविटी खुद ब खुद ये सब होलिस्टिकली कर रहा है, ये ऑब्जर्व करने को हमें मिला. ऑल्सो द प्रोसेस व्हाट वी सेड कि LPS एक्सपीरियंस, देन लैंग्वेज में बोलना, पिक्चर्स एंड देन सिंबल्स, दैट प्रोसेस, थ्रू दैट प्रोसेस चाइल्ड हरसेल्फ वेंट, मीन्स वो टीचर्स को नहीं लेके जाना पड़ा. चिल्ड्रन गो थ्रू ऑल दिस प्रोसेस. And also what we observe, children stop asking what to do, how to do. That is the typical question. In our classroom, it always happens. Sai dhala tamsa, what we will do next. So we have to assign next job. Abhi ye activity do. So that will be very, means, are bapre, sort of that for teachers also sometimes. So in this classroom, it stops at all. Child knows ki me and my work is the policy, so no one is going to tell us what to do. Children start doing various things independently. It is all self-discipline and self-motivated. I am not exaggerating it कि कोई भी बच्चा ऐसे एक दूसरे को पुश कर रहा है, मार रहा है, हो नहीं रहा था, क्योंकि बच्चों को खुद को अपने को जो करना था वो करने को मिल रहा था. टीचर्स लिमिटेशंस और स्टूडेंट लिमिटेशंस ये जो रहते हैं उससे फ्रीडम हो गया, क्योंकि क्या होता है, वी थिंक कि वी वांट टू टीच समथिंग टू द चाइल्ड, फॉर दैट वी असाइन सम वर्क एंड वी टीच दैट activity to the child, and that will limit child's learning process. And in this there is no such things, and therefore there is a freedom from teachers limitations to teachers limitations. Also the language development is also observed very much. एक दूसरे के साथ जब इंटरेक्शन करते थे तो जैसे मैंने बोला कि 3 पेजेस का different types of words they come to know, so that language development was there. Also socio-emotional development also seen, care, no healthy unhealthy competition, cooperation, coordination, all intimate values are awakened and strengthened. And development in reading ability also, and that is also without stress, is seen in this process. This is one example. The story behind is that we put this chindi from tailors, we collect and we put it for, we gathered it for our children. And दो बच्चे थे, मीन्स हमारा उनके यहाँ ध्यान भी नहीं था, मीन्स वो क्या कर रहे हैं, कैसे कर रहे हैं, कुछ भी ध्यान ही नहीं था. बाद में एक टीचर ताई आके मुझे बोली कि कम व्हाट दे हैव डिड सी, तो उन्होंने बड़े कैनवास पे ये पिक्चर बनाया था और इट वाज सो अमेजिंग, और वो पिक्चर बना के निकल भी गए थे. सो फ्रॉम गिवन अ स्पेस वो ऐसे भी अमेजिंग थिंग्स और कुछ उनके, और बाद में उनको वापस करने को बोला तो किसी को भी नहीं आया, दोनों ने कहा हमें नहीं आता है, बट एट दैट टाइम इट हैपेंस. So when given a space, children can do amazing things. In all this process, as Ranjana told, we all should be on one platform as a school, TAI, teachers, and parents. So in this process also, we involve parents a lot, because without their awareness, it will not happen. Otherwise, they will think what mess is happening in the school. So we aware the parents regarding the workshop by taking workshop talks about the natural learning capacity of the child, about their how to observe that. Our videos in the schools, we show them, and we interact with them, and we also tell them to observe the child at home and write their observation. As Ranjana told, we have 2 groups of such of the parents, and they observe in a nice way and send videos, share videos with us. Coordination in school and home, so that we have a coordination between school environment and home environment. And if parents have any difficulty, we have discussion with parents, and we collect materials for exploration from parents also. We fully take involvement of parents for this natural learning process in school. In fundamental foundation literacy or numeracy, in our new educational policy also, meaningful reading आना चाहिए बच्चों को. The बच्चे able to talk with understanding and able to understand what is told. Writing as per the requirement, and counting, number recognition, number family, addition, subtractions, able to do basic calculation is the foundation literacy numeracy उन्होंने बोली है. But when we give such environment, children learn many more things than what is expected if they are left free for natural learning in their early years. And it is very much required कि up to maximum 8 to 10 years, this type of environment should be provided to them to learn naturally, or to awaken their natural learning, or to awaken rather than not awakening, it is there, but to give space to that natural learning instead of pulling them to the words and our typical way of learning. However, for this to happen, we have to reimagine associated programs, creating a space for natural learning. And for this to happen, we grown-ups have to be ready to change in ourselves. So it is a very big task, actually, according to me, for all of us, to how to involve for in teachers also, teachers training also, to how to make aware कि this type of natural learning होता है बच्चों का, और we have to give the space. With this, I will also like to thank SPN Doshi College to present our work, whatsoever we have did so far, and thank Shobha Madam also. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rati ma'am and Ranjana ma'am, for sharing this wonderful insights with us. Now I request my friends Vishakha and Deepika to conduct the question and answer session. Over to you both.
Thank you, Pratiksha. So let's begin with the first question. Ma'am, what challenges do you face while implementing natural learning in the classroom?
For me, it is actually challenges wise is the role of teachers. It is not the children. For children, it is not we have to work with them, but I have to work with teachers. When we say we don't have to play any role, it is actually for me also this transformation is very difficult. When I start working with 20 group of 20 children, whether it is really going to happen such things in school environment is the question. स्कूल बोलते हैं ना, तो ऐसा लगता है कि एक एनवायरनमेंट रहता है, बच्चे बैठ के कुछ कर रहे हैं, so it is a disciplined way of this thing, and we think कि स्कूल में जाते हैं तो बच्चों ने ऐसा होना चाहिए, disciplined way. When you come to our school, you will see mess. The mess is going on. Children are doing lot more of things and all those things. So बाहर से देखने को जब लगते हैं ना, तो ऐसा घबराहट होती है. And for that, teachers are means मुझे पता चला कि चुप बैठना कितना कठिन है. Because Ranjana used to say to tell me कि कुछ नहीं करना है, एकदम चुपचाप बैठना है. और मीन्स अभी तक तो ऐसा था कि बच्चों को कुछ एक्टिविटी करवाने दो, फिर उनसे इंटरेक्ट करो कि क्या हो गया, कैसे लग रहा है करके पूछो, गेट अ फीडबैक फ्रॉम देम, एंड ऑल दोज थिंग्स टिपिकली हैपेंस विथ मी. And nowadays I just have to keep up, means do a role of observer, that is observation का, तो वो बहुत difficult था, and that is really challenge. And we are in process because all teachers are not trained. All this is the only one classroom. Actually, this is not expected. The whole school should be like this. What is expected is the whole school should be like this, but as a this thing means uska kuch compromise kar bolo. So we have created one classroom, and we have created one classroom to exploration. So this is going after 2-3 years. I expect the whole my school or my section will be like this कि exploration ही चालू है. और adults का role जो रंजना ने अभी दिखाया था, वो grandfather, वो हमारा रोल रहे, कैसा रहेगा, ये हमारे यहाँ चैलेंज है. और एट द सेम टाइम पेरेंट्स को कैसा, तो सिर्फ एडल्ट को कैसे एजुकेट करना है इस बारे में, यही इसका चैलेंज है. बच्चों के लिए यहाँ चैलेंज कुछ नहीं है, वो तो कर रहे हैं.
Thank you, ma'am. Next question is how to combine natural learning with media exposure.
Media exposure, what do you mean by that, media exposure?
Ma'am, in this COVID situation or this pandemic situation.
Yeah. That is fantastic. Ranjana also put what happens in this pandemic now, all children are at home. Okay. So actually there is much more stress on parents कि how to engage with those kids, कैसे करना है, उनको कैसे engage रखना है, उनका learning कैसे होगा. When there is no school, the learning will be it will limit their learning, and all those things going on and on. So we started working with again parents. उनको हम लोगों ने उनके वर्कशॉप्स लिए, उनको बोला कि इवन इफ देयर इज नो स्कूल, नथिंग विल हैपन बिकॉज चाइल्ड हैज अ कैपेसिटी टू लर्न हरसेल्फ. एंड उसके वीडियोस के जरिए और उसके जस्ट वी हैव टू क्रिएट एनवायरनमेंट that interaction with the parents, it was continuously going on process even now itself, and with that we tried to change the role of parents कि घर पे रह के आप ऑब्जर्वर की कैसे भूमिका ले सकते हैं, बच्चों को एक्सप्लोरेशन के लिए अलग अलग स्पेसेस कैसे स्पेस अवेलेबल कर सकते हैं, ये करके हम लोगों ने पेरेंट्स के साथ काम किया. और nowadays in our section, I would definitely say कि parents are very much relieved कि यहाँ बच्चे हम स्कूल नहीं जाते, स्कूल का कुछ ये नहीं, बट खुद ब खुद बहुत सारे चीजें सीख रहे हैं और they share their videos with us. With that also we took workshops with parents कि क्या क्या ऑब्जर्व किया है. जैसे अभी रंजना ने कहा ये जो वीडियोस है उनके ही है, वो जो वॉशिंग मशीन का प्रोसेस था वो दैट इज इन आवर स्कूल पेरेंट्स की वो उन्होंने ऑब्जर्व ही किया कि वॉशिंग मशीन लाने के बाद हाउ द चाइल्ड ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ 2-3 months द चाइल्ड वर ऑब्जर्विंग दैट वॉशिंग मशीन इन फ्रॉम डिफरेंट एंगल्स. उसको माँ को लगने लगा कि इसमें कुछ प्रॉब्लम है बच्चे में. So we told नहीं कि प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, he is trying to understand that particular thing from different angles, and from that all things are language development हो रही थी, उसका mathematical means सभी development हो रहे थे ना उनके. So that is what parents nowadays trying to started understanding, and in this situation it is the work is going on, but we can say we have achieved around 40% कि parents are now relaxed कि natural learning is much more important than regular schooling.
We again we conducted workshops for grandparents also, because children, grandparents and parents are together after a long time without any purpose. I mean, purpose is living also is there in fact, but they are living together and they don't know how many days it will go. So again, problems started happening between parents and grandparents, because grandparents come from that old thought of schools. The children need to read and write. And now we are telling parents not to force these things, because children need to learn on their own, and whatever they are doing, that is learning. So parents requested us, please conduct workshop for our grandparents so we are on the same page. So we conducted 2 sessions for grandparents also, and then we hope now they can understand what we really want to say.
Thank you, ma'am. Proceeding to our next question. Ma'am, how can we balance natural learning and school learning, which is structured?
Actually, that is what my presentation was. I also tried to balance that, because in school we need to have some results कि अभी ये development हो गया है. We even if for pre-primary section there is no curriculum as such, we design our each one is allowed to design their curriculum according to their circumstances. Till now, maybe afterwards it will be different things, but what we decide कि ये करना है to achieve these domains. So this is our ये goal है. To achieve that goal we have to do certain things, and for parents also we put कि ये achieve हो गया है करके. So this is the process in the school environment. Here what happens, as I told you, children are doing something, we have to observe, we have to note down कि क्या क्या हो गया है करके. पूरा उल्टा प्रोसेस है इसमें. तो इसीलिए अभी मैंने जो बोला कि we try to combine this कि हमारा रेगुलर जो क्लासरूम्स हैं उनको हमने इंटैक्ट रखा, उनको कुछ किया नहीं, और created separate one classroom for natural learning where children means class wise we send them and do certain things like that. But as I told you, this is the beginning, and as we proceed, we are now in a process कि हर एक क्लास में ये नेचुरल लर्निंग टाइप वाला इंटरेक्शन हो जाए, और उसके बाद में आप गोइंग टू द फर्स्ट स्टैंडर्ड व्हाट पेरेंट्स वांट टू नो कि उनके बच्चों को रीडिंग आता है क्या, उनके बच्चों को राइटिंग आता है क्या. ओनली दैट दोज थिंग्स दे वांट टू नो. हाँ 1 to 100 letters आता है, numbers आता है क्या करके. As I told you, this type of immersion reading can achieve much more than reading only letters and reading simple sentences. Much more things will happen when this scope for immersion learning, immersion reading will expand. So we are trying कि with this parents will convince कि नहीं इसमें कुछ होता है, and that will be much more and much more important than regular schooling. It is a very big task. I really, Vishakha, I would like to say कि अभी मैं कुछ बोल नहीं सकती. After 2-3 years, we'll again interact and we will see how it will happen. Meanwhile, as a facilitator, we all have to change. We all have to come together. We have to think, rethink, reimagine our whole system. That is what I started feeling and what I see in that, in whole this process. So let us see. But this is my temporary means क्या बोलते हैं, अभी तो किया है स्कूलिंग को कैसे नेचुरल लर्निंग के साथ जोड़ने के लिए एक टेम्पररी अरेंजमेंट है वो.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. Ma'am, one more question. Actually, it's very genuine question from, I guess, mother. How can we make videos of children activity? She means when children knows that we are making videos, they react differently actually.
Ranjana, better you tell.
First thing, don't make videos of children. All the videos we have received are made when child is not aware that somebody is shooting, you know. So making documentation is, one can write also. Video shooting is very minor thing. Observing children is very important. So if one can do that as a part of observation, then they can do it very subtly, but they shouldn't do it. If they want to do video of children, they shouldn't do it. If just as an observation they want to do it, it should be done very subtly. Child should not be aware of what is what is happening. Just a tool of observation. Video shooting is just a tool of observation. Main aim is understand the child by observing it.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, as you said that this is just the starting, ma'am, it's my personal question. Ma'am, can we like follow natural learning process in special required children, special need children?
Yeah, why not?
I would like to give one example over here. When we say specially need, it is one thing is one child was of autism, autistic child. What happens is we have put Rangoli in our school. Some function was there, and we admit some. We have such children with us because interaction with normal kids, it is beneficial for them also. For our section, we took admissions for all the children. We don't means ऐसे ये नहीं होता है. So that child wants to, he was running to that Rangoli again and again, and all other teachers and all जो भी थे मौसी वगैरह, they try to means उसको पकड़ के रखा था, and he was very violent. And this was, I was not at that time school, and I just entered तो ये देखा कि सब चल रहा है, तो I just said कि वो रंगोली का डब्बा था. I just took that थोड़ा सा रंगोली, I put it into the another corner and उसको वहां छोड़ दिया. तो आफ्टर दैट जो पीठ का हुआ ना, वैसे ही उसने किया. सब ऐसे वो उसका स्पर्श कैसा है, हाउ इट फील्स, वो सब उसने बहुत बार मीन्स मनसोक्तपणे म्हणतात ना, ऐसे वो खेल रहा था. और आफ्टर दैट ही काम डाउन. सो हिज नेचुरल लर्निंग, ये क्या मटेरियल है, कैसे ये क्या कर रहे हैं, वो क्यूरियोसिटी था उसके लिए. सो अदर्स वर थिंकिंग कि ये ऑटिस्टिक है, सम डिफरेंट टाइप का है, इसीलिए उसको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, और वो सब उसको पकड़ के रखे थे. बट व्हेन वी अलाउड हिम टू डू व्हाटएवर ही वांट टू डू इन वो दूसरी जगह, वो तो डिस्टर्ब नहीं किया, जो भी कुछ रंगोली निकाला था, but I gave that material to him. He was such a, means uska sab band ho gaya. So it is effective for all sort of kids. I would rather say.
Thank you, ma'am. It's very useful actually. This is the end of the question and answer session. I would like to hand over to Pratiksha.
Thank you, Deepika, Vishakha, and especially Rati ma'am and Ranjana ma'am for answering all the questions patiently. Now I would like to request my friend Ms. Riddhi Gada to give the vote of thanks.
Good evening to everyone present here. On behalf of Human Development Department of SPN Doshi Women's College and TYBSc HD students, myself Riddhi Gada would like to express heartfelt gratitude towards everyone who has been a part of this webinar today, which is students-led webinar on natural learning, which is fundamental right of every child, organized by Human Development Department of SPN Doshi Women's College. We are thankful for our Managing Trustee Meena Ben Kathani, our Director Dr. S. Kundhavani, our Principal Dr. Asha Menon for their constant support towards organizing departmental activities. We are also grateful to our Vice Principal Dr. Rekha Randive for her guidance and encouragement to conduct various programs for the department. We also express our sincere thanks to our resource person Ranjana Maji Madam and Rati Bosekar Madam for helping us to know about natural learning, which is right of every child. We understood the role of preschool teacher in providing natural learning environment to the child and would surely practice it when we join the profession. Thank you for sparing your valuable time and being with us today. We would also like to express our genuine thanks to our department professors, Dr. Shobha Bharat, Dr. Ritu Bhatia, and Dr. Deepika Sharma for their constant guidance and support throughout, without which we couldn't have been successful. I would also like to appreciate all my classmates and their efforts which lead to a smooth conduction of this webinar. Thank you all the teachers for being there with us. We are also thankful to all the participants who have joined from various colleges for today's webinar. Last but not least, we express our sincere thanks to Harshmit Khan for her technical help in conducting this webinar. Thank you everyone once again. Stay safe, stay healthy. I will now ask Ritu, our faculty member, Dr. Ritu Bhatia, to give the concluding remark. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Riddhi. So we have come to the concluding part of today's webinar, which is on natural learning, right of each child. We, the teachers of Human Development Department of Srimati P. N. Doshi Women's College, we are very thankful and appreciative of all our TYBSc students for smooth conduction of today's program. Particularly, I would like to thank Pratiksha, Anita, Vishakha, Priyanka, Deepika, Riddhi for your efforts. We are very happy. We are very proud of you all girls that you have done it successfully. Because without your help, without your cooperation, I don't think we would have done it in that way. So thank you all girls. Just one announcement I would like to make before concluding this today's webinar, that our Human Development Department is organizing another national level webinar on 24th of July. The details will be given very soon. So please be in the group so that we will share the details over there. And today's webinar, the certificates and all will be given to you within 8 working days. We will be sharing the feedback form for today's webinar soon in your group. So kindly fill the feedback form so that we can process your certificates. So we take your permission to disperse. So